Hare Krishna, Gauranga. Just out for a little japa walk and had a few thoughts. So I was thinking about this, we had a conversation on the Friday Bhagavad Gita class about the difference between the divine and the demoniac qualities. So what makes a demon essentially. And we were quoting from the Bhagavad Gita chapter 16 where Krishna's specifically speaking in the language of a demon, and he's showing how how the demonic mentality works. So it's all essentially based around this idea of everything is from me and for my purposes. Krishna's saying, I've got to the top of my position, it's all because of my endeavor. I've taken down everybody along the way, and anybody else that blocks me and stops me, I'll defeat them, Whereas the divine nature is obviously that everything comes from Krishna and that everything is used to serve him. And anything that we have, anything that we've gained, or all these things, we have put some endeavor in, but ultimately it's Krishna's mercy. That's the top factor, and what decides what is ours and what's given to us and what we do with it and so on is ultimately Krishna's mercy, So a big difference between demons and devotees. And I was laughing to myself. I'm just going around for a walk, and of course I'm kind of partially, as you can see, I'm in the woods, but I've also came through some of the urban area, some of the housing estates, and I was thinking to myself that many years ago, even in this modern age, we can see how things change so much. Yeah, how the material world is progressing, and I mean this in terms of people's attachment and people's mood of possessiveness and mood of protection of their material prosperity and so on. So many years ago, say 30 years ago, when I was a kid, you would see that most people, there was no such thing as cameras on people's houses. Maybe the very rich and opulent people who had big mansions or private drives off in the country, they would have some cameras. But now even someone who has one bedroom, one bathroom and one kitchen, literally their house is like a slab with a window on it. I just saw some of these houses, they're so thin, and there's about 3 of them all attached to each other, and I was thinking, oh my god, each one of those is one house. But they have cameras, and they've got their car in the driveway, and they've got the cameras pointing at the car, and I'm thinking, oh my god, that even with such small opulence, still they have this fear of losing what they have. So the material world is progressing rapidly. So naturally, what am I going to say next? Yes, progress your Krishna consciousness rapidly. Because the last thing we want to do when we're coming near the time of death is, rather than thinking about Krishna, we're thinking about the car being stolen, or we're thinking about what happens to our assets. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanandi Hari Bol.